podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
You fight with nobody.
This a dollar beat. This a dollar beat.
BoxingWords.com.
You won the belt with nobody.
BoxingWords.com.
This a dollar beat.
You never gonna get the fight, man. You're a horrible fighter.
BoxingWords.com.
Payday. You want payday. I know that. Oh, look this guy. There's a plan to go for the belt, and I'm coming, man. I'm coming, my friend. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please, get the fuck out of here, man.
BoxingWords.com.
Because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
BoxingWords.com.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and we are here to discuss whether or not Caleb Plant possesses the power to hurt Canelo. During the press conference, he questioned us. He asked us, Miguel Cotto's brother can make you do the chicken dance, but I can't. But, that was a long time ago. Canelo was probably fighting at 147 pounds back then. Nowhere near the level of experience that he has now. So I don't know why Caleb Plant going so deep in the bag, but it still poses a good question. Can he hurt Canelo? And what exactly does hurt mean? Right? Because I guess there will be people that choose to vote on our poll that's up right now on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice and say, no, he can't hurt Canelo. But again, what does the word hurt mean? What does it mean in boxing? Obviously, it can be slightly different from the English definition, right? From the Webster's definition. What does it mean to be hurt in boxing? Is it your legs buckling? Is it you being hit and automatically you go into the defensive? You start to take steps back. What really does it mean to be hurt in boxing? Because, if we're thinking about what Plant said, he was speaking specifically when Canelo fought Cotto's brother, and really all that happened was what? He got hit with a shot that sent them back towards the ropes. So is that considered being hurt when a punch lands and you stumble back into the ropes? Is stumbling considered being hurt? What about when Maidana hit Mayweather with that overhand right? Was that considered being hurt because his legs locked up and he kind of shook it out on his way back to the corner? What is being hurt? Because I see that many of you are already 63%, 64% of you are saying that Caleb Plant does not possess the power to hurt Canelo. But again, what is hurt in boxing? And then we're finally going to discuss Joshua versus Usyk fight week. It's happening September 25th. Not a lot of hype around this one here in the States, and hopefully it picks up and produces a good fight Saturday night. I don't know anything bigger than this fight for Saturday night, so I guess I could check the schedule. I don't really know if there's anything else This is the only thing that my brain is registering to. But I also feel like there isn't any hype behind this fight. I guess that the biggest thing out here is a little dance of Usyk, right? And that was extra corny, but somehow it's being promoted throughout the boxing industry. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I never really thought much of Usyk in the heavyweight division. Was very excited when he was scheduled to face Tyrone Sponge, my doppelganger, but that never happened. And since then, opposition hasn't been the greatest. Obviously, the Chisora win being the best heavyweight win he's gotten. But on the schedule, I guess if you're interested, Lawrence Okoli is on the undercard versus someone we've never heard of. Callum Smith is back versus Lenny Castillo. Lenny at least went 10 rounds with the boogeyman, Bivol, right? Bivol didn't stop him. Let's see what Lenny does here. He's being brought in as the B-side. Probably hasn't fought since the Bivol fight, but who knows? Then no one knows Maxim Peredan, but he's fighting Makabu and found himself in a shoving match this morning for no apparent reason. Mr. Florian Marco is he's getting cornier by the minute. And they're giving him a lot of TV time. Shout out to Sam Jones, Lord. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, when did Savannah Marshall turn pro? That's when Sam kind of started his little boxing career, right? And now he's got maybe 12 fighters. Dude's doing his thing, man. What he's got? That was 2017. Shit, that was like 4 years ago. Wow. He's on the roll. He got the Juggernaut. He got Solomon Dakari. Well, I said that wrong. Dacares or something like that. And he's got, what's that kid's name from America he got? Ooh, I forgot. He's got an American Olympian that was a heavyweight but is going down. Or maybe he was a cruiserweight and going down. Oh, he's also got Guido. Got my man Guido Vigianella. He's got a few fighters, man. And they're all doing business with Matchroom. And that brings me back to the point, Sam Jones is a hell of a manager. He got this guy Florian back on TV. Because I don't really see what's... Okay, shout out to Box Rack. I don't really see what the hype is behind him, right? Like, why is he getting so much TV time and so many fights? But he got into some weak shoving match in the press conference today for no reason. And it sounded like he was saying, don't be looking at me gangster like this. I swear, honestly. That's what he really what he said. So, yeah, man, my man Florian, man, let's see what happens. Sorry, dead air, Solo Dolo, Scarface, No Manolo, answering texts. Got a call scheduled today with the mayor of the possible city in Florida that we're going to be doing border wars, We're going to go to the mayor and see what they got for TBV. It's getting big over here for border wars. I'm excited. So, looking at the schedule, there are fights. Sergio Martinez is fighting Brian Rose, of all people. Shout out to Demetrius Andrade. And he's main eventing in Madrid, in Spain. So, And is this Angel Moreno? Don't tell me that's Anselmo Moreno. Is this a new, or is this like Anselmo Moreno's brother? Who the hell is Angel Moreno? But, yeah. So... AJ got some competition, He going up against Sergio La Maravilla Martinez. Damn, Martinez still a middleweight. Wow. Even with that long layoff, you would figure he would get a little bit of pounds. So, really sucks. All that we have is the Callum Smith and Lenny Castillo fight. That's worth watching. I guess Marku has taken enough time in our brain where we're gonna watch him. And that's about it. That's about it. Oh, yeah, you got Campbell Hatton on the card. Campbell Hatton is back. He's definitely staying active, you know. So, yeah, to look forward to really is just really AJ. And hopefully he produces a good fight with Usyk, who I feel is just going to really move around the ring, kind of like all his cruiserweight fights, to be honest with you. I hope AJ's working on cutting off the ring and letting hands go on Usyk. I know Usyk has gained some weight. He is tall, too. He's not like he's short. He's about a good 6'4", 6'5". And Usyk comes in. Wow, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, I think. How is that even possible? Usyk is coming in at a plus 220. Wow. I wonder if the bookies lost a little bit of faith in AJ after the Ruiz fight. That's crazy because AJ's only a minus 270. That's pretty close, man. The over-under is coming in at a minus 140 for the over 9.5 rounds. So they believe it's going to get done. Actually, I believe it's going the distance. Over 9.5 is minus money. Under 9.5 is plus money. So, yeah, they believe it's going the distance or at least going past 9.5 rounds, which is crazy. They don't think AJ could get him out of there, huh? Or at least the probability of it for them is lower than it going the distance. Not that they don't think he can do it, just that the probability is slightly lower. Shout out to Callum Smith, made it to the betting line with Lenny Castillo. Jesus, he's a minus 3,500. That is a shame. I didn't even think Lenny was that big of an underdog. Sheesh. You go 10 with Bivol and you get no credit, no respect. But yeah, man, I tried to watch the whole press conference. I just, couldn't. Obviously, it wasn't enough time between now and my showtime. But I was hoping maybe AJ gave us something, maybe Usyk, some faces or something. Hopefully, let me see if they posted anything on their social media as of now, Matchroom. Let's see. Not yet. Still just a Coley. Yeah, they've already posted the Marku little scuffle, if you want to call it that. So nothing yet. Let me see if Dazn. Actually, I seen the press conference. I was watching it on Sky Sports YouTube channel. Was that interesting to anybody? I thought it was supposed to be Dazn UK now, or is this AJ's last fight with what? When did this happen? Joven invicto y listo para más. Young, undefeated, and ready for more. Hashtag Dazn Sazon. What is this? Miguel Rivera Lugal. What is this? What is Dazn doing with this PBC fighter on their Instagram talking about Dazn Sazon? Michel Elzazar, the one that was going to fight Broner, and Broner didn't accept. He out here tripping. He talking about reincarnation of Muhammad Ali just because he looked like Muhammad Ali slightly. You know what I'm saying? You got a black and whitest picture. Look at it with your eyes squinting. He tripping. But why is Dazn got him there? That's interesting. But yep, Dazn doesn't have any face-off yet. So far, it's just a Coley and Marku. Mr. Marku. So there's a strap on the line for the Marku fight with Prodon. So we'll see. Don't know. See, much rather talk about my man Kelaplet, right? Isn't that more exciting? AJ and Usyk, they just not really doing it. They're not giving us anything. You know, they've been eclipsed by this whole Caleb Plant and Canelo situation. But I believe that, you know, the Ustatagi should show us, that fight should show us that he does possess the power to hurt Canelo, because we counted him out there. We thought he would get hurt. We didn't expect him to do any hurt. And in fact, he put him down twice. And I mean, again, we go back to what's the definition of hurt? And you know, is it safe to say if you put someone down, you hurt them? Right? How do we quantify a fighter being hurt in the ring? I guess that's the new question, man. Let me go out to my co-host, but you know he's in the office right now.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
Hey, yo, TBV, the king, live from La Oficina. We trabajo. It's crazy, man.
What up?
Yo, Ness, I was listening, bro. You said some poignant things, man. Like, yo, eclipsed. This whole situation is definitely eclipsed AJ, but, you know, it's hard to really... When I looked at that whole, and I know people been burning on it and chomping on it for a bit, man. Yo, is this, like, I was talking to somebody, Caleb Plant is really fighting his death wish, the streets seem to think, man. The streets seem to think that he's egging Canelo on, and that he knows, and somebody stop me if you heard this before, he's literally egging Canelo on, not because he's so confident, but because he really knows that this is a complete cash out. That's what I'm hearing from, you know, maybe not hardcore fans, but just from a lot of people that kind of follow boxing, used to follow boxing, people that know Canelo, they know how Canelo get down. They said, who is this guy that he slapped him? They said, why would you do that to Canelo? And I'm not saying that in any sort of way. I'm just looking at it like, damn, like, you know, people have no faith in Caleb Plant. And maybe that's what had him so mad. He like, yo, nobody don't believe in me around this motherfucker. I got to slap this man for y'all to believe in me. So put some powder on his hands like Mike Epps, you know what I'm saying? If he won't be walking around slapping motherfuckers. Yeah, man. I don't know why Usyk, though, and AJ are not getting this promotion. I mean, well, I guess that says more about Usyk than it does about AJ. I think AJ fights always kind of creep up on us stateside. You know, so the fanfare just isn't there. I mean, he doesn't have the shit show of a Fury following him or the detractors that Wilder had. He's just kind of, you know, in this case, his demeanor kind of belies him stateside. Like, he's got to, you know, give us something a little more. You know, for boxing fans, we're going to tune in to see the evolution or to see if he can still hang or whatever. But for the most part, man, I don't know. I think it's Usyk, man, because you have to be, number one, you got to be hardcore as hell to even know who the fuck was in the cruiserweight division. Then you tell us Usyk was the last cream to rise to the top. I don't know, man. It's no shade on this fight, man. I'm excited as hell, you know, because I'm a hardcore. This is what we do. But
you excited as hell?
I'm gonna tell you. You don't hear it in my voice. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm a big fan of AJ, right? And I like the way they keep stacking people up against him sometimes. So they put Usyk in there. Usyk's supposed to, you know, he was dangerous in cruiserweight. Man, I want to see AJ flatten this guy so they can stop disrespecting AJ. I got a lot more respect for AJ and his loss to Ruiz than I have for some other fighters because of the way he handled it. So when he come back and, you know, he carry on the way he does, getting Floyd's attention, you know, just the way he moved, yo, I want him to flatten Usyk, and then the rest of the heavyweight division still got to get sorted out. So AJ's going to flatten Usyk, and then the real shit starts after October 13th or whenever that fight's supposed to be. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. The dominoes are falling. I feel like the dominoes are falling.
Yeah, I don't know about dominoes falling. I feel like, you know, the promotion is light, man. It's light. I mean, I don't know. Again, could it have been just simply eclipsed with the Canelo, and no matter how hard they would have went, it would have still been overshadowed, or is the promotion for this fight just light? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, is one undisputed versus an almost undisputed. You know, I don't know. I thought it'd be More hype. I mean, my own girl was like, "Yo, there's no boxing this week," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, AJ." Like it had to click. It had to register. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, you right with the light promotion, but I think that's kind of, I think, man, maybe I'm speculating, but maybe sometimes they're leaning more on trying to get the houses packed. They're trying to get people in seats. So when they splitting up that money, they say, you know what? We're not going to be advertising as much, because I think the big deal over there is AJ's, live action, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be wide open. He's always packing the houses. So I think, for them, that's what it does. So I guess he don't need the promotion. But for us, I mean, yeah, we need to know whether it's on Dazn or what app it's on, because we're not going to catch it on regular TV. So, but we're just getting promotion for Fury Wilder. I've seen maybe one commercial on Instagram, and I don't think I heard nothing on the radio yet. So, and it's still some time away. But, I mean, I think promotion, the whole idea of promotion, because people have Instagrams. Look at Kevin Hart. He turned his whole Instagram into a fucking promotional company. So I think it's just different, man.
Yeah. It's crazy,
but
man.
Yeah,
I
man,
don't know. I would have wanted to feel a little more excited, like as excited as I am for Canelo and Plant. Like they got me hyped, and I know that's a press conference, and obviously some very unorthodox things took place, but like it still got me hyped, and that's what 44 days out now, so. I just want to be excited. I don't know. Like when you thought of Wilder and AJ, you felt like someone was getting knocked out. Like I think of Usyk and AJ, and I'm not sure can it happen because of Usyk's movement. You know what I mean? Like he's probably gonna try and stay away from AJ's right hand, and is it gonna be a corny fight? It's got me worried.
Yeah, nobody's getting knocked out. Nobody's definitely getting knocked out, and there may not even be a knockdown, man. I can tell you that. I'd be surprised as hell. Maybe they got some sort of parlay for that, but I can guarantee you there ain't going to be no knockdown. And I was going to say, shout out to London Runs Boxing, because I know he's going to keep us covered, with his AJ support. That's my guy. So, yeah, they got to do something. You want to be excited, right?
I want to be excited. Hell yeah, I want to be excited.
I know Enrique's excited. Enrique's a big.
I want to be excited.
Enrique's a big AJ
fan. I'm hoping they at least AJ says something. Like how he talks under his breath, how he did the Dominic Brazil. That got me excited. Like he that little behind the scenes, don't talk tough to me shit. That got me excited. The whole landlord with big baby, that got me excited. So I'm not counting AJ out. He might say something to give us some headlines, But
can I draw a comparison? Ness, let me draw a comparison right quick. I see AJ a lot like Lennox Lewis, man. He's a silent killer, man. He don't do too much, you know what I mean? Like he talk his shit, but he talk it kind of smoothly, you know what I'm saying? So he probably not going to say too much to Usyk. He probably just going to be like, yeah, you up against me now, man. Yeah, you up against me. You up against the best now. Yeah. And you're going to look him down, and stare him down, and then, they're going to depart, and then that's it. Eddie going to be in the background cheesing, hyping up the fight. It's just going to be pure boxing, man. At least let's just hope for that. You're a big boxing fan. You don't like the brawlers and to see the sloppy shit. You like the precision of boxers, man. You got to get into this somehow.
Again, I'm worried that AJ won't be able to catch up to Usyk, that he'll be circling around, and then it'll just be this boring fight where rounds are going by.
I'm hoping that the new svelte AJ with all the Terminator muscles, maybe that gives him a different game plan and it changes the complexion of the fight. Or am I being too optimistic, man?
I mean, he's definitely slimmed down. You can see that. People have been talking about that for some months now. He's definitely slimmed down. We got a super chat from
and I want to see
DW that says, Ness, ask caller, does AJ duck Wilder when he KOs Fury? Did AJ ask Usyk for $50 million? So he wants me to ask you,
Nah.
will AJ duck Wilder if he gets the knockout over Fury?
I don't think he can. You know what I'm saying? And I think both those fighters are in the same boat at that point. You want to know why? Well, shit, all three of them. Because then they've all taken losses. You know what I'm saying? Now, Wilder's going to be feeling good because he's going to be feeling like the redeemer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, AJ, he going to be like, but I've been there. I've been where you at. I've been on the high that you've been off. So, nah, he's not going to duck him. Now, again, the money part, I can't deny it if you guys are saying that it was a duck by virtue of offers and money on the table. I'm not disputing that. I just don't know that language. But I know when it come down to it and AJ considering it now, he's going to be like, yo, and dude already lost, and I lost. Like, there's no, I don't think the fear is there or even the worry. I think it's just for all of the fighters that if, we're talking about a big if, though. We're talking about a big if. But if Fury is, you know, KO, Wilder KOs him, I don't think Joshua would duck him. Not at this point.
So we scheduled to have, supposedly Suleiman on today at 10 o'clock, man. What you expecting from the WBC press?
You know something? I would leave work and go jump in front of a camera so I could remind the Honorable Mauricio Suleiman. I say, hey, how you doing, sir? I wouldn't go in, but I would expect him to dance, man. He's going to dance. He's not going to answer any direct questions. And I'm not sure that it would. You know, behoove us 100% to go hard on him. We want him to come back. We consider him a friend, right? Yeah, but he ain't gonna tell us, you know, directly. Unless you got that conversation with him where you could be like, yo, Mauricio, I don't understand.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna use the term I don't understand. A lot of shit been happening I don't understand.
Yeah, or explain to me how. That's the way.
Yeah. I don't even know where to begin,
listen,
honestly.
Man,
honestly, I don't even know where to begin with him because it's like, it's so much, you know? The lightweight situation, the drug testing situation.
The creating of belts for every occasion. You know what I'm saying? The Black Lives Matter belt, the Juneteenth belt, the Super Mexican belt.
Those are okay with me. Those are okay with me because those are more trophies. That you can't defend those. Those are not. They don't even attempt to defend those. The only one I have an issue, obviously, is the franchise because it caused issue. But whenever they make the Mayan belt or the Aztecan belt, that just goes to the winner, and he gets to put it in his showcase and shit. You know, there's no. I don't consider it. It's not doing any harm, like the franchise, and the way that sometimes these interim belts cause harm to the sport by fragmenting it and you know confusing the fan really.
Well, you know what I would ask him though? Does he also request, or does the commission rather? Still take a sanctioning fee because they're giving you this prop belt essentially. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess, but that, I mean, you know, you can ask him that. I mean, that's like in his pocket question. I really don't care because it's the fighter. You know what I mean? Like, if they like I seen Michael Montero had a fight. And he got a WBC belt. If he had to pay to get that, like a sanctioning fee, I mean, you gonna pay it because you want to win a WBC belt. So, you know, it's the same thing, you know, for anybody else. Like, if they making that Mayan belt and you want it, and they charging you and you paying, then that's what you wanted to do. I know I won't be paying.
Yeah. But, you know, to me, that's like when cats used to get them Chryslers and tried to put the Bentley grill in it. It's still a Chrysler. And I like the Chryslers. You get what I'm saying? In other words, if it's a WBC belt and it's a regional belt, it's a silver okay, cool. But I'm giving you money. You might as well go buy and buy a WWE belt. If you want a specialized the IBO Border Wars belt.
Nah, because the truth is that the WBC is still more prestigious. Everybody still want the WBC.
But what's the prestige when you paid for it?
But because,
you know what I'm saying?
because it don't matter.
It's not prestigious if you could pay for it.
But you can't really pay for it, right? Like, you can't really pay for it. And that's the thing. So, you know, receiving it still means you got it or earned it in some weird way. Because everything costs, I mean. Like, everything costs, man. They ain't just going to give it to you. But if they gave it to you in a fight, in some weird way, you earned it if you won, right? So, like, look, I'm looking at this picture of Mauricio and Jake Paul, right? And they hugging, and Jake is wearing he's wearing a WBC amateur belt that Mauricio obviously done gave him and shit. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Just because and this is what I'm saying, like, it's a WBC. You know how prestigious that is?
And it says amateur.
For it to be.
Oh, and that's right. He does have, and you see what I'm saying? You think Jake didn't pay some sanctioning fees so that his first and only amateur fight, he gets a belt?
Can be for a WBC. That's WBA levels of bullshit.
I mean, it's politics, man. Everybody needs money for the world to go round. Their world, their business, you need that bread. And look, smart of the WBC, they got in with Jake in the very beginning as an amateur, where everybody else waited for him to make real noise.
Well, you know something, on that same token, that's why the IBO it's just like fashion, right? So that's what I'm hearing, the trend, right? Mm-hmm. The IBO is going to become prestigious because it's going to become that it ain't no politics and you just had to get it from a fight. It wasn't because it was a holiday weekend. It wasn't because both the fighters or whatever the fuck. It was simply because this was the belt that was at stake for that division match. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm being too much of an idealist, man.
I mean, look, man, I think we're a long way before the IBO overtakes or becomes the one that's considered prestigious. But they're, you know, look, and you might start to think differently about them, man, because, you know, they're in bed with Eddie now. You know what I mean? They're in bed with Eddie. Maxie Hughes just got a belt. You know, Gongora has a belt. There's a lot of IBO champs over there now. You got, I don't know, I guess Chris Eubank isn't over there anymore, but he had an IBO belt. You know, so you just never know, man. You never know. Shit changes because, again, money makes the world go round. You need that.
But you know what I think about
man.
that?
We need that funding.
But that's mutual, though, man. That's like the IBO. It's like, yo, we're building each other. You know what I'm saying? The IBO is building with these young fighters, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of ways. Different from when the WBA, shit, don't my man David Morrell got a belt? You know what I'm saying? Like, WBA, they are the most notorious for it, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think the WBC is getting to the point to where, you know, everybody got it. So it's no longer, and again, not me, but if everybody has a particular watch or a particular vehicle, it kind of depreciates the value. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of the exclusivity is what gives it its value, man.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Is there really exclusivity when it's about fees or sanction?
Yeah. Well,
and I think there is still some level. I think there's still some level of exclusivity because you don't see everybody running around here with a WBC belt. It's just the truth.
That's what made Wilder, when he was holding that green belt above all, he said, y'all can have whatever you want, but this green belt, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I just drank the Kool-Aid. I just grew up feeling and thinking that the green belt was the belt that mattered.
I mean, it's just,
and
it's just
I guess because it was so.
I think it's because it's the belt that all the champions of yesteryear have had. You know what I mean? Like, I guess is it the first belt? I feel like I hear people say the WBA was the first.
I think it was the first, but something about the WBC. I think like all of the the greats or something have at least been WBC champions. I don't know what the correlation is.
Yo, so let me ask you, man, does Caleb possess the power to hurt Canelo? I mean, that is the big question. And for your information, he made it clear, Plant did. He said, look, you trying to tell me Miguel Cotto's brother, who didn't achieve anything in boxing on the level of Canelo or Plant, can hurt Canelo, but I can't? So, like, what do you think about that?
No, I'm totally with the idea. I don't know if I'm with Plant. I'm with the idea that he can hurt Canelo for sure, because it's boxing. 4 to 5 pounds of pressure to the chin, and no matter how granite your chin might be, you have to take them. You got to take them punches. And by the way, Triple G and Billy Joe let us know how easy it is to hit Canelo with the jab. The thing is, will your jab deter him? Plant being the naturally bigger guy, obviously taller, I think his jab's got more pop on it, and I think he is a more, could be more skilled than Billy Joe. I think he's, levels in the same vicinity. Then I want to add to that his accuracy. Like I said, he's very patient and he's very accurate, and his punches are very quick to the point to where he's not winding him up. Canelo, I said it before, I'll say it again. He has evolved the traditional Mexican style. He's going 2 for 1. That's why you can hit him with the jab, because what he think he gonna hit you with is harder than whatever you can hit him with. All right, so it's just not going to behoove him, because even if it looks the same way it looked with Triple G versus Canelo, because everybody thinks, except for me, that Triple G won the first fight, but Triple G just jabbed, and when he crossed him, he was able to keep Canelo in a certain position because he had already biting on the jab, but he was landing the jab. He knew where Canelo was going to be. Imagine Plant doing that, and Plant moves his head 10 times more than Triple G. So I'm just going off of the boxing. Yeah, he can hurt Canelo, and he can make the fight difficult for Canelo. I think for me, the question is, does the power Canelo possess stop him like it stops so many others? Does it make Plant change his game plan? Like, oh, shit. So that's what makes it such an interesting fight.
We got C-Dub with the super chat that says, what if Usyk do AJ like he did Bellew? Excited now? But that would be in the post, so of course I'd be excited in the post because I done watch what happened. But, like, we need that pre-fight hype to tell our friends, like, yo, you got to watch this AJ fight. Heavyweights is fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's what's missing right here. I think it's just because I know that if AJ don't get it done, we damn sure ain't getting no knockout, because I ain't seeing Usyk knocking out AJ. I just can't see that happening.
Hell no. Nah.
So that's I think that's the lack of excitement, which is weird, because I remember when Eddie, first mentioned this fight like long time ago, like, oh, imagine they fight, or eventually they'll fight. And people were excited because he was undisputed. And now it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I'm more like ready to get this one over with. You know what I mean? Like, get AJ this win and move on so he's available for the winner of Wilder Fury.
And I
want him to
be in attendance. But that's what I meant about the dominoes falling. That's what I meant about the dominoes falling. Like, get this, not out the way as if Usyk is a walkover, but this ain't the fight we want to see from AJ. Let's just move this along. Let it be a boxing event. Let's see. Oh, AJ come back a little different. He's smaller. He's boxing. He's doing more pull counters. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay, and if it doesn't happen, cool, because then we ain't got no choice but for something exciting to happen post October, man. So I guess I'm looking ahead. You're not supposed to look past the opponent. Well, it's a good thing I ain't fighting, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking past Usyk as an opponent. Like I said, I'm just wanting to get past this one.
What are the odds looking like?
They're close, bro. Freaking real close. I can't believe how close. Actually, so silly. This is weird.
That's disrespectful.
That's what I
That's
said.
disrespectful.
They got Usyk as a plus 220. That's crazy. Let me just put that into perspective for people, right? Wilder lost twice to Fury, and he's a plus 210. So a dude that lost twice, in some people's mind, he got a draw and got stopped. He's only 10 points less. Like, he's still more of a favorite than Usyk. Usyk still is less of a, like, that don't make no sense. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I didn't.
Yeah, man.
It just don't make sense. That it really should be at least like a 400. I feel like, like Herring is a plus 460 and he's the champ. Damn, they think Shakur's special. I never seen that shit.
They do.
A plus 460 and he the champ. Shakur minus 620.
Herring is mature enough to use that as motivation, man. Herring is very mature. And I see, shout out to Marlon So Icy Sims. I seen him out there getting some work with Herring.
Yeah, he's in the training camp. I see. That work must be real good. My man went and bought the new Porsche. I hear you. I see you, champ. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Them lines is crazy, though, man. But, yeah, I don't know. The fucking... The server for the booking shit must be in the Ukraine. So, go figure.
I don't know, man. I don't know who Usyk knows that he's that close. He's that much of a favorite with AJ, bro. Like, honestly, AJ's fought at least, 7 or 8 top 10 fight heavyweights? They tripping. Them lines is crazy. That's crazy. They know something we don't know. I wonder if AJ got hurt in camp or something.
Nah, man. You know what that is?
Bro,
you know what that is? It goes
close,
back to,
man.
That's that machine, man. The residual impact. It was a few of them, and Usyk was like the baby. Because remember, Korobov was in there, Kovalev was in there, Lomo. It was Derevchenko. It was a bunch of Eastern European fighters that was supposed to be the wave, and you cannot abandon ship now. So. I guess the Titanic. Usyk will be the Titanic for that wave, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just saying, Usyk is a mandatory, right? Kambosos is a mandatory. Tio's a minus 1,000 over Kambosos. And Kambosos a plus 700. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying Usyk should be a plus 700, but definitely in the fours, man. They wildin'. I remember when Mikey opened up with Earl, he was like a 360 or 340. You know what I'm saying? The money start going down as people start betting. So that's really strange. I wonder, maybe that got me hyped now. Maybe that means that the fight is tighter and better than what I thought. Because honestly, I thought AJ was a way bigger favorite, Up until today, I expected AJ to knock him out, but like the more I think about it, the more I think Usyk is gonna try to use his feet as much as possible. I'm sure it's like a 24-foot ring because they big boys anyway. I don't know, man. Are you expecting a knockout?
No, but I'm expecting AJ to look good. Like I said, I'm expecting AJ. Yeah, man, I'm expecting AJ to unveil some more pull counters. I'm expecting him to show us. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, how you look good as a heavyweight not getting a knockout? The fuck?
Because from a fighter that's not going to be there to get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Remember, not even a true heavyweight. It's one heavyweight fighter in the ring. That's AJ. It's a cruiserweight in there, an overblown cruiserweight, and he's going to dance. He's going to revert to his cruiserweight roots.
They don't even believe AJ could get the stoppage, man. They got AJ as a plus 100 for the TKO. That's low, man. That's not even enticing. Like, that's it? Plus 100? for this big ass
But that
Adonis of a man. What the fuck? Yo, that's crazy, bruh. Like you picking him by knockout and you still can't really bet. Like, let me see what Fury is. Oh, they ain't got no prop bets on Fury, but they got him on Canelo. Let's see what the Canelo. Damn, they disrespecting Plant.
Canelo by stoppage is easy.
Yo,
easy
they
money.
got Canelo. Plant at a plus 1,200 for the knockout, and Canelo's almost
Damn.
Canelo's 190 minus 190 for the knockout. So they really think he's stopping Plant. They disrespectful, man. My boy ain't getting stopped, man. What's wrong with y'all? We gonna bet on will this fight go the distance and make all the money on these fools.
What if Plant does the unthinkable? This may be the one fight I may be betting heavy
What
using
unthinkable? What's
my
the
bookie.ag.
What's the unthinkable though?
The unthinkable is knocking Canelo down, winning by decision because he got a knockdown on Canelo.
Yo, bruh.
Or 10-8 rounds somehow.
This is disrespectful. They giving this man no chance. Look, Plant by KO plus 1,200. Plant by decision minus 1,100. So they basically saying, bro, you ain't got no
way of winning.
You ain't got no shot outboxing this dude, and we know you ain't got power, so that's the only way you gonna win by knockout, which you can't do. So the odds are even greater for that.
That's disrespect.
They are disrespectful. They are disrespectful. Motherfuckers ain't boxed a day in their life. Jesus, yo. Who are the bookies, man? These motherfuckers, man. Are you watching that low-key series on Disney? Nah.
Nah, I haven't gotten into it.
All my Marvel people out there, all my comic book superhero dudes, they know what I'm talking about, man. Who are these people, man? The Time Masters and shit. That's what these bookies are. I need to meet a bookie. You know how long I've been trying to reach out to people and like get someone that really does the lines so we could get better tips on betting. It's so hard to meet like what's the real word? I'm fucking up the real word. It's like a job they got. What is it called? Do you know?
Nah, I thought it was bookie.
Nah, bookies make the lines. Talking about somebody you like get your betting advice from. No? All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's open up the phone line. Crooks. Let's open up the phone lines and see what the world is picking. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. We already got a lot of votes. You haters don't believe nothing. No matter what poll we do about Plant, it's always going to be the negative side y'all choose. It's okay. 67%.
Next, before you open the line,
Go ahead.
what do you think about that as the unthinkable? You know, Plant getting a 10-8 round. That's pretty much the unthinkable, right? Especially based on the odds. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I never considered him dropping Canelo, but that would be great for him. I don't know that he can do that. But again, I ain't think he could drop Usyk. That's what I keep saying. Like, people just want to brush that over. Oh, Usyk, so what? So what? But like, we didn't think he can do it, and he did it. So, you know what I'm saying? And he loves that hook, man. He doubles it. He goes up and down with it. You just never know. Never know. They might end up hooking each other, and then it's a matter of power. And obviously, Canelo done that with Triple G. I mean, Canelo's just battle tested, man. He's got that chin. Shit, granted. He never been down. He been hit by the best. You know, Plant gonna have to show he's special. That's just the bottom line. He gonna have to show he's special. You get that one night to change everything.
One night only.
Yo, it's so horrible though. Because you got to do it twice. You know, Canelo got that rematch clause, and it's like you beat him. It's like, oh, that was luck. You got to do it again. It's crazy.
But you know what, though, man? That's the fucking Super Bowl. If you beat Canelo, the only two people on this planet to beat Canelo, Saul Canelo Alvarez, right, is Floyd Mayweather and Caleb Plant. That is the fucking Super Bowl.
It is, but that's a tall task, man.
Speak it, receive it, believe it. Where the soundboard at?
Tall task, but you know he is. I think Mauricio is ready. Open up this Skype. Yeah, man. All right, let's see if he's gonna call in. He said,
Good morning.
Mauricio, how are you?
How are you, my friend? How's everything?
Oh, everything is well, doing good. Thank you for joining us this fine morning. Oh, you're in the suit and tie over there? What you got going on?
Every single day, my friend.
No, no WBC walk today, or you already got to that?
No, I injured my knee, so I'm gonna be out for a couple of days out of the walking. Not good.
So I don't know how much time we have, so let's get right into it. We'll start with Victor Banuelos, who says, I'm sure most boxing fans would agree that Tyson Fury is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. In your opinion, if Wilder were to test positive, oh boy, here we go, for amphetamine, would that give him a better chance of defeating Fury in their upcoming trilogy, assuming he would still be able to fight despite failing a drug test? So this is definitely a backwards question, huh?
Well, it's I don't think it's a question that is well worded.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go backwards, of course. The WBC Clean Boxing Program is unique. We created it, and we have worked with it for 6 years with VADA. We have done a tremendous job. We have stopped several fights. We have had strong penalties. And hopefully what people would understand is that there are over 300 substances, but each substance is different. There are different categories of dangers or effects on each substance. So the way I have given some examples so people can relate and understand, there are felonies. One felony could be stealing a candy bar from the store, and that's stealing. But also if you go into a bank and rob a bank with rifles and with aggression, that's still stealing. But the penalties are much more different. So we did Valdez a severe 1-year program that he has to comply with. He did not go unnoticed. We did a whole process. But what people should understand is that the WBC managed the results, and we took that route. There's nothing more important than the integrity of the WBC and the program, Clean Boxing Program. So to talk like that about Wilder, or what could happen, it's no need to answer that question.
So Mauricio, I guess now in retrospect, do you feel like maybe choosing to say that amphetamine is the equivalent of taking 3 Red Bulls was not the right choice of words for that particular instance, or do you still stand by that quote?
I stand by that because that was one of the examples that one of the scientists gave. Phentermine is a prescription drug used to suppress appetite. So it is used in obesity cases. So it does not give a performance-enhancing effect. That happened a month before the fight. Everything was addressed. We're still investigating what could have been the source of Valdez having small amount of fentanyl in his system, but it was not a situation to take away the title or suspend the championship fight. And one of the other elements is we discussed this with the ABC, with the Association of Boxing Commissions in the USA, and with the local boxing commission where the fight took place.
So I guess that the issue for most boxing fans obviously is that there wasn't any real punishment for Valdez. There wasn't any suspension, and instead he was placed on some sort of probationary supervision by the WBC. From what I read, it seems like he's got like spokesperson duties to fulfill, you know? Like you basically, he has to give you 6 appearances when you want. I don't really know, how is that a punishment?
The punishment is that he will undergo a 6-month period where he's going to be tested continuously by VADA. And he is going to have to pay for that, and that's a good amount of money. He's going to have to undergo a certification program on nutrition, hydration, weight management, and substances. And he is going to have to pay for that, him and his team. And then from that, he's going to go and do appearances to teach gymnasiums, schools, or something that we will design. And he's going to have to do all that also by his own payment. And he's going to be 1 year in probation. So that's the WBC's resolution. People want to stick to say we didn't cut his head. We're not going to change anyone's mind. The substance is special, what we have tried to explain. But if nobody wants to understand that this is not a major substance of major effects, of major dangers, there's nothing I can say to convince anyone.
But you're calling it major dangers. Basically, the opponent was not given the same opportunity to cut weight. If I am cutting weight, first of all, I'm not in that weight class. I'm going to lose 15, 20 pounds to fight in this division. So
that is not the case.
Taking amphetamine is suppressing my hunger. It's helping me make that weight.
Stop speculating. Valdez was a featherweight. Now he's fighting in super featherweight, has no issues doing weight. He has put the 30-day weigh-in, the 14-day weigh-in, the 7-day weigh-in. He has made weight. Don't speculate about you and having to lose 20 pounds.
I'm not speculating that he can't make weight. What I'm saying is the drug. Listen,
wait, so he didn't.
Just hear me out. Hear me out so you can understand what I'm saying.
We're only accusing, and you're not hearing me out.
You're not listening to what I'm saying so you can understand. The drug suppresses your hunger, so it's easier to make weight, Mauricio. If I don't have a hunger attack, I don't have to go to the fridge. But if I'm a regular fighter that's not taking amphetamine, guess what? I get those cravings, don't I?
What PED effect does that have? What advantage? What would have been the problem of such fighter? He did not enter the ring with fentanyl. That was a month before the fight. We analyzed the whole picture. Everything took into consideration.
But Mauricio,
Look at your face.
Good morning. Good morning. This is King Amin Investor. I think you're missing that he might have used this substance in preparation for this fight, and that is an unfair advantage. If he tested in late August and the fight was the end of August or September, that means he was able to use this in preparation, which creates an unfair advantage, don't you think?
You have a point, and I understand it, but we took the whole process and we did all the evaluation of everything. The WADA code, WADA, the World Anti-Doping Code, it says it's only prohibited the day of the event. The VADA code has over 300 substances prohibited at all times. but the penalties for different substances are different. He did not have a competitive advantage when he fought, when he got into the ring. He may have had aid to lose weight, may have had. So the penalty that we assessed was to learn nutrition, hydration, weight management, and substances. He's going to be registered and certified, and then he's going to go and teach others what can happen if you do this, Y, X, Y, Z. So,
I'm satisfied.
We're going around in circles.
No, we're not. No, we're not. You said what I wanted you to say. I'm satisfied that you admit that he may, you want to use the word may, that's fine, but you're admitting that in the 8-week camp, he may have had an advantage in that first 4 weeks. I'm cool with that.
Not an advantage that could put in jeopardy his championship or the fight.
And, that's obviously up to your discretion, because as the president, he
not
took
my discretion, a whole panel of experts.
No, because the substance was on the ban list.
Absolutely. So we analyzed.
So it was up to your discretion what was going to take place after it was on the banned substance list.
The WEC discretion.
All
yes,
right.
that.
So I'm correct in what I'm saying.
Mr. Suleiman.
Yes, Joseph.
What about the concerns of the safety of fighters taking these drugs and how it could harm them? It's not always just a performance advantage, but it's the safety. That's why a prescription is required for this drug. I think that the regulation has to protect the fighter as well, because fighters will do anything to make weight. They don't always put their physical health first. I think the safety of this drug is also an issue, not just the performance part of it.
You're absolutely correct. The major concern of anyone taking any sort of substance, prohibited substance or processes, is the harm that they can do to themselves. Any substance, as I said, there's so many different ones, but substances hurt your liver, your heart, your brain, your kidneys. It is very dangerous to take and to use and to manipulate anything that happens in your body. That's why we have an education program. I don't know if you have watched the webinar that is in the Clean Boxing Program site. It goes through this, and we have a continuous education to the fighters and the trainers and the managers. So this is an ongoing program, and of course the concern of anyone taking anything is they can harm themselves in a bad manner.
So I guess a fair question to ask right now would be, moving forward, if someone does take this drug in preparation for a fight, what will the punishment be?
Good question.
It will, every single case is analyzed separately.
Okay.
What is the specific situation? How did it happen? When did it happen? What's surrounding? There's fighters who have taken supplements, and they even put it in the form, and they don't know that. The most common thing is the naive and ignorance of the supplements or the vitamins or whatever a fighter is taking, or a nutritionist or a trainer is giving them. So that's our continuous process. We continuously try to make them understand. There's a system, a company called Access, and they can send the products to be certified and to receive guidance. So we have like a hotline where fighters can contact and be educated on that, and that's going to be Valdez's duty to educate as many as he can on different things about weight management, hydration, and substances.
Are you concerned, though? Let me just get this one off, Nestor. It's very important. Are you concerned that if someone else looks at this and hears this interview, another fighter, they're going to say, well, Mr. Valdez was able to get off without being suspended. He was able and allowed to fight. Now, if I take this drug, I'll roll the dice. Maybe I can get the same treatment. And if they don't get the same treatment, can you understand the criticism that will come your way if that does happen?
No, I am not concerned. I am concerned for any fighter taking anything with knowledge. That would be a different case. And if they accept they take it, that's a different. Valdez never accepted he had taken anything. If they do it with knowledge, then it's a different evaluation of that specific case. This is the first time that there has been a fentanyl case in the 6 years that we have had. We are still investigating what could have been the source of Valdez contamination or taking. We're still investigating and will continue. He's in probation for 1 year. So I am not concerned if any fighter takes anything. We're going to address it and go through it, same as we did with Valdez and we have done with Povetkin and we have done with Pascal and every single fighter who has tested positive for any of the banned substances.
Just to move on, because I'm really done with the negative or positive drug tests, but I don't know if you know the term pre-trial intervention, something that's called PTI in the legal system, and you brought up felonies and things like that, and I wonder if that's kind of what the WBC adapted. It's like a first-time offender. He gets caught for whatever crime. It's not a violent crime. It's not a serious crime, so the government steps in, puts him on pre-trial intervention. They have to do some sort of probation and community service, and it doesn't stay on their record, but it is a way of, slapping them on the wrist, teaching them their lesson. So is that kind of what you did here, where it was on the banned substance list, he had no knowledge of it, you want to educate him so he's on a probationary period?
Yeah, I was not familiar with that term, but the way you explain it, I think it's a good way of putting it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you worded perfectly the way you explain it. So
because it's kind of like a first-time offender thing. And, you're giving them the education now is what it seems like. He didn't know. It's the first time he ever got caught. I know Valdez said on his social media, like, he's been tested 30 times. So it feels like you gave him the benefit of the doubt. Like, look, we've tested you 30 times. This is the first time you pop positive. We believe you. You're on this probationary period to see, do you continue to test or not? Right or wrong?
Yeah. That's a good way to word it. He went to 2 Olympics. In the Olympic Games, they have a certain testing, of course, and then 30 VADA tests, always negative. And he has a reputation unquestionable in gymnasiums. Anyone that was contacted, they were surprised and they would vow in favor of Valdez. So that's a good way that you have put it.
Moving forward, I got Brandon Lenz in Houston that says, thank you for coming on, Mauricio. Do you think a mandatory passing on his shot at the champion is something that should be punishable? Like, let's say he drops 20 slots in the rankings. I think it's disrespectful to the belt and the system in place to not complete the process. What do you think?
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding very well.
So a mandatory challenger that wins an eliminator or wins the interim title but doesn't want to fight the champion. Obviously, he's going in circles. He's talking directly. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Jojo Diaz, 2 interim champions that now are instead choosing to fight each other instead of fighting the champion. Like, no one wants to fight Devin Haney. It seems so weird to us.
I'm not sure about that. Devin Haney he wants to fight Ryan Garcia. We have spoken about that thoroughly in the past. This lightweight division has been extremely complicated with many things happening. And the WBC, Ryan Garcia had mental issues, and we expressed our support to him. So the WBC continued the dragging of happenings that were from before the pandemic. So we had Fortuna and Diaz fight for the interim title because Fortuna had been in place with Campbell and then with the fights that were just falling through. So we did that to continue the process. Ryan Garcia will fight Jojo Diaz to finish that that circle, and then the winner to fight Devin Haney. Haney can do a voluntary, or Haney can contract to fight Jojo Diaz directly, or to fight. We are giving Haney the option to take and choose the best path that he wishes. But one of the final steps is to have finalize Garcia, Jojo Diaz in case that fight happens. But then the next has to be the interim champion against the champion, and then try to finalize that all the mayhem that went in the lightweight division.
Mauricio, you don't think that Devin Haney being champion for, I'm going to say 2 years now, and not ever having a mandatory is starting to look like almost shameful?
Shameful to whom?
To the sanctioning body. He's been there and he's not fighting any mandatory since he won the title. Like, that's the natural process. The number one challenger fights an interim or an eliminator for his shot at the champion, and there's no mandatory since he's won that title.
I mean, I have addressed this countless times of what happened at all times. And there's a reason. I need to look at my notes, but every step on Haney, he won the title and then he got injured. And then the pandemic hit. And then he recovered. And it is very common to give a fighter that is coming back from injury the benefit that he can have another fight. That's the last title defense he did. He did Gamboa, I believe. And this year he fought Linares. While the process of the Fortuna, Ryan Garcia, all those things were happening. So I can give you a good timeline, structured timeline, so you can see we have not in any way broken any rule. And it is not that he has not done any mandatory. It has been the WBC's line of fights that have been structured. So I'm very confident that we have not done any wrong on the rules, and Haney has not broken any rules as well.
How long does the interim champion have to be interim before he's ordered to be the mandatory?
It is case by case. We do not like interim championships. It's a necessity at times. We have a few interim championships. We have Dillian White in the heavyweight because of everything that has happened also in the heavyweight. And we have this one in lightweight. I believe those are the only two interim championships that we have at the time.
Mr. Suleiman, I'm not sure if you were asked this question or if you answered this question, but Deontay Wilder made a statement that he said if Fury was to pull out of this fight that's scheduled October 9th, that he would become champion. Is there any truth to that?
No, that's the first I hear.
I didn't hear him say that. On 78 Sports, he clearly said that Fury would be stripped and then he would end up fighting for the vacant title, and that Fury would have to pay him if he didn't fight in October 9th.
I heard someone say that he said it. I read it.
I heard the interview that he did on 78 Sports. He said that Fury would be stripped. Is that the case, though? Would he be stripped if he doesn't fight on October 9th?
It all depends. We don't speculate. As I've been telling you all the time, something could happen that prohibits him from fighting. So I cannot say right now he will be stripped. If he gets injured, if there's something that happens, there's no fight. We would. I mean, I never like to speculate. Our rules are very clear, and we handle when things happen at that time.
Was Tyson Fury's behavior after testing positive for COVID, going out and making appearances and hanging out and shopping and stuff, was that upsetting to you at all, or what were your thoughts on that?
I don't follow much. Sometimes people send me some things, and it was not clear if that posting was live or from before. But if he was out while having COVID, it's an unbelievable irresponsibility. And that is not talking about a boxer or a champion, as a simple person. We're living through a pandemic that has claimed millions of lives. and to be irresponsible when you're sick cannot be acceptable in any form or manner.
Now, one thing that's been criticized a lot is the franchise championship, the designation. Are you prepared to take a look at that and maybe assess if that was a good thing to do? Because it seems like it kind of log jams the division a little bit and prevents certain fights from happening. What is your thought on that?
Oh, I feel very confident about the franchise designation. If you see what has happened with the franchise champions, Canelo used that designation, and then last year he decided to go and fight for the super middleweight championship. And his goal became to be the undisputed. So he has followed that route. He's not using the franchise designation. So he's been doing tremendous fights. And November 6th will be the last stop. And on November 6th, unless there's a draw, there will be a unified champion, which is very good. On Teofimo Lopez, it's very regrettable that the thing with Cambosos has dragged for so long, and there's so much uncertainty. But through that, we were able to have Teofimo against Lomachenko, then Ryan Garcia Campbell, Haney with Linares, which was a sensational fight. So I don't feel, I understand what the confusion that a new creation comes and the time that it takes to stabilize. But at this time, I mean, if we were doing this in every division and here and there and doing all the things, I would understand people to be upset and to see it is not a new specific creation as it is.
Mr. Adore says, why didn't the WBC order Jojo Diaz Jr. to fight the WBC champ Devin Haney after beating Fortuna? Because
Ryan Garcia was publicly given by the WBC support, and he was the interim champion, and at that time he contacted the WBC and said his mental health was fully recovered, that he was going to train, that he wanted to try and see if he can come back and fight. We gave all the time to all the camps to make a deal, and Haney to make a deal with whoever he wanted. He has expressed countless times the fight he wants is Ryan Garcia with the public, full arena, so they can maximize the income for him and his opponent. So we have left a little bit open. It's a very specific situation. We're not going to go and simply throw away a fighter who had the guts to step up and declare his mental status. And that gave a lot of million kids suffering from anxiety, from mental depression, an example that they can come out and address the situation. So we stand by Ryan. We stand by. I'm so proud of Jojo Diaz and the way he represents with his father and his son the pride of being a champion. And Devin Haney is one of my closest friends as a fighter, and I just want them to go into the ring and clear that division.
Now, boxing judge Stephen Blee issued an apology for his scoring in the Valdez Conceição fight. Did you speak with him? Is that something that you suggested for him to do? And did you also suggest him not accepting any fights, championship fights, and going through some training to help him be a better judge? Did you have any input on that?
No, he was very brave, and he was so concerned. He gave me a call. He sent me the letter, gave me a call, and I said, I fully support you. I admire your guts to step up, and this is an example of what has to be done to take accountability. He could have hidden and just stayed in the shadows. I applaud him, and he's gonna go back to basics and do training and certification, and when he feels ready to be back, we will support him as well. But I applaud him. Could have been a night off. Could be a bad night. We all have bad nights. But he takes it, and I think that's the right, correct decision to go back, continue, understand what has happened, and go back. There's no way that fight was 17-110.
Do you think moving forward that, because these scorecards seem to, surface time and time again, do you think judges should be suspended for a brief period of time and get retrained when they turn in scorecards like this? Is that a policy that you may want to implement?
We have a very strong ring officials committee, and we analyze every single fight, and we give them a score of performance. We get feedback. We talk to them. Dwayne Ford and his team are doing a sensational job. So we take each fight and we see the scorecards. And then we go back to them and say, please explain. We send them the fight again, a link so they can watch it. What did you see in the third round that everybody else gave to the other fighter? And we go back and forth and we talk to the referees about dynamics. So I feel comfortable, and the key is to have the officials be accountable. If we pretend nothing happens and just say it's a bad night, it's wrong. We are doing a very good work with remote scoring and that system. So every week, every fight, we have judges from around the world scoring it in a system.
It's a great idea.
And what we are doing is narrowing with a program that it's called the Q&Q, quantitative and qualitative scoring. So they are required to score the round on numbers 10-9, but they also have to score the box in the bottom where it says close, moderate, decisive, or extreme decisive.
That's a good point.
So when we have judges in 2 degrees of separation, then that's when we start talking to them. What happened that you saw this round close and the other saw it decisive? What happened? How can you see such a difference in evaluation? So it has been helping so much those who are working under this system to fully concentrate and narrow down every single round. So it's working on place. It takes time, and the more judges that get focused into narrowing it to see and to give a qualitative or qualitative scoring, is going to be something that will continue to have them uniformity in what they see and what they score.
So let me jump in here because I want to go ahead and walk you through a public petition here for Devin Haney. This is my last Devin Haney question before we move on. Obviously, my years dealing with you, one of your phrases is everything is situational. It's case by case. That being said, Devin Haney's case is very unique. I think we can all agree that Teofimo, Vasil Lomachenko, Ryan, and Jojo Diaz would be the biggest names on his resume if he ever got to fight him, correct? All right. Now, all those names...
Linares is on top of the top, so he did beat Linares last time.
Yeah, no, but he still would be under those names. The rest of those 4 names are the biggest names he can get. But all those names are unattainable to him. Tio, you made Tio the WBC's undisputed champ, so he can't get a shot at Tio. Obviously, the interim champ is facing Ryan. Respectfully so, Ryan is a big name, popular name. If I were Jojo, I would rather fight Ryan. I'm sure the money's probably better. Vasil's on the other side of the street and negotiating with Richard Comey. Would the WB consider Devin Haney's case special, unique, and individual, and allow him to petition to unify with Maxie Hughes, the IBO champion? I know technically, normally, the WBC doesn't recognize the IBO, but again, this young man's situation is unique. He's 22 years old. been a champion 2 years and doesn't get the opportunity to show his skills versus his contemporaries. All the other belts are tied up with Teofimo, who says he wants to fight him, but obviously is very busy with Kambosos.
Yes, the IBO is not a sanctioning organization. It's a private company for profit. That is why it is not considered possibility of unifying. He could defend against him. We would have no issue. I'm not sure if he's ranked, but you have to understand that the WBC is not a promoter. And when you have ideas like you just brought up, you are coming with a new, fresh idea out of the blue. So you were first demanding other things as a voice in the sport, the voice, the boxing voice. And now you out of the blue, you bring a new one. So I'm confused. I'm getting hit all over the place. Devin Haney has been very successful. He has made very good money by being the WBC champion. The last fight, he was criticized heavily, but he defeated Linares. So I'm very proud of Haney. He has the road open to do whatever he wants. We have been supporting him heavily, and it's just a matter of time that he's able. He was negotiating with all these names that you have mentioned. So we have supported Devin, and I'm very proud of him. He's my friend. He's my nephew's very good friend. And I'm sure he's very young. He's got a long, long way to be a legendary champion if he continues to be successful.
Now, the WBA had mentioned that they're going to eliminate some of their titles. They have mentioned that there's too many of them. What is your take on that? Is that something the WBC may do down the line, is try to streamline some of these title belts?
Well, it's a much different, Joseph, because we don't have all those titles. We have world champion. We have a few interim champions for specific situations, and we have the franchise designation, which is a completely different scenario.
Is the diamond belt gone? Is the diamond belt gone and the gold belt gone? Are those belts gone? And the silver titles?
Those are trophies. The diamond, the Huichol, the September fight, the May fight, those are special trophies that give interest to a fight. They're not world titles or they're not championships.
I got you.
And the silver is...
So no sanction has to be paid for those, for like the Huichol belt? Or, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. But, I know you have a lot of different tribe belts.
We pay for that. We pay for the manufacturing. It's a gift from Mexico and boxing world. There's no sanction. We just...
There's a big misconception out there that if I fight for the diamond belt or I'm the silver champion, I have to pay a sanctioning fee every time out.
The silver is different.
Okay.
The silver is not we don't call it a world championship. It's like in baseball, you have the major leagues and you have the minor leagues.
Okay.
And you have the AAA. And every sport has, the championship and then different leagues that lead up to the... Let me explain to you the structure of the WBC globally. We have 10 continental federations. Each one has a continental championship. Like the NABF is Canada, USA, and Mexico.
Okay.
Central America has the countries, South America, Asia, Africa, Europe, the British Boxing Board of Control, and the Eastern Bloc, the former Soviet Union countries. We do have the international championships since 1985. We have the Continental Americas since 1988. And they're just regional titles for 10 rounds. And what they do, they help newcomers to enter into a structured side of the sport with rules, with protection, with medicals. So it gives them, and when you win a regional belt, it gives you a lot of pride. And then the perfect example is Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, his first title was the OPBF Flyweight Championship, Oriental and Pacific Boxing Federation. Then he won the international title. Then he won the WBC World title. in flyweight. He lost it. Then he moved all the way to, was it Super Bantam, I believe?
Yeah,
Yeah, he skipped like 3 and he won the WBC International. So it is something that develops the fighters and then gets them ready to be at the great stage when they become more experienced.
We got James Valdez that says here from San Antonio, Texas. Please share with us your thoughts and reasons for Floyd Mayweather's picture to be considered as a representative of the WBC belt, and would Manny Pacquiao also be a possibility in the near future?
You know, Manny Pacquiao, without a doubt, is a legendary already. He has all the merits inside and outside the ring. Floyd Mayweather, the legacy that he has created through the WBC has been one of a kind. He was the champion in 5 weight categories, and he always was very proud of the WBC. He's one of those very special fighters for 2 decades, and that's why the WBC board decided to add his face to the championship belt alongside with Muhammad Ali and my father, who passed away. Manny Pacquiao will certainly will be someone that would be very special. I think in 2014 or 15, we changed the belt. So there's the ceramics on the sides. It's Ali and my father. And then we have in every single weight category, the greatest 2 champions of that division. So in strawweight, the Ricardo Lopez and I don't remember the Japanese champion's name, sorry. So we go weight category, they have the 2 greatest fighters in that division, and then the champion of the division, the current champion, that's his belt. But I think additional features like Manny Pacquiao eventually would be interesting, and we will look into it. I like that recommendation.
Next one is from Jab Left Hook that says, Saludos, Don Mauricio, desde California. Échale ganas que al cabo los bocones siempre serán. I can't, wait, so échale ganas que al cabo, I don't know. ALCABO, how do you pronounce that?
Al Cabo.
Al Cabo, that must be a Mexican one. What does that mean?
Well, échale ganas means stay strong. The loud mouths will be loud mouths.
Will always be loud. Okay.
Gracias, amigo. You know, I will never step away from a question. And I like confrontation. I don't mind it, as long as it is respectful and it has constructive items, you know. If you go to social media on any account, not mine, not yours, any account, wow, the messages that you read are horrendous. But if you learn to understand it, then it's no issue. When someone is attacking you, it's systematic and it has no value. But someone comes with a good recommendation, with a good complaint, with a thing that can make you understand and go back. We truly cherish people getting to us and giving us their feelings and their knowledge. You know, we don't know the rules as fans. When I watch a NFL game and, you know, there's difficult rules, or in baseball. I mean, this season we have seen the strangest plays and we don't know all the rules. And it's hard to blame an umpire or a boxing judge or a referee. You know, things happen very quickly, but we must strive for justice and for safety. So anyone who has a comment, I welcome it, and they can write and we always respond. But just don't remember my mother, because that's a very hurtful, like what happened with Canelo.
Speaking of that, this is the last question from New York. Show Kid says, good morning. What are your thoughts on Eddie Reynoso being as though he has multiple WBC champions that have failed drug tests? How can we hold other champs accountable if these guys are getting away with a slap on the wrist? Also, how do you feel about Eddie's comments during the presser? They were homophobic. I know that Latinos say certain things more loosely than obviously Americans. I don't know if you did hear Eddie Reynoso's comments to Caleb Plant during the presser when he called them specifically maricón.
I did not see that part of the presser. Let me tell you the first part. It's wrong what my friend from New York is saying. It's wrong. Canelo was found with clenbuterol. Okay, that was 2018.
16? I think it was 18.
It was the first
Triple G fight.
It was for the rematch for.
Oh, it could have been 17. I think it was 17.
Yeah, maybe 17. So
sorry.
Clenbuterol, just as phentermine, it's a specific substance, okay? And we immediately worked with the Nevada Commission and we had a thorough explanation of clenbuterol. In 2011, there was a soccer World Cup in Mexico for youth, and they did 190 tests, okay, on players. And out of the 190, I believe 130 came back with clenbuterol from all over the world, the kids that were here in Mexico. So clenbuterol is a substance that has been challenged with the IOC, with FIFA, Major League Baseball, NFL football, etc., etc. When that was analyzed thoroughly for the Canelo specific case, the levels that he had on his system, Nevada suspended him for 6 months, okay? And the year later, WADA made a adjustment to the levels of clenbuterol, of what is acceptable and what is over that would become a doping offense. And had Canelo, had WADA have that level at that time, it would not have been an offense. Same thing happened with meldonium and Povetkin. So this is highly scientific, highly chemistry involved situations, but the specific clenbuterol, Francisco Vargas was found with clenbuterol before he fought Salido. Mm-hmm. We immediately got on the phone with California. They reviewed. Vargas was in California training. He had a test then. He flew to Mexico to say goodbye to his mother, and she cooked a broth with meat he had for dinner. He had lunch next day. That afternoon, the agent came to do the sample test. So it was clearly from that meat. And California did like 17 tests to him, allowed the fight to go on, and it was a great, sensational fight. So every single substance, it is very unfair to bill Canelo and Eddie Reynoso as offenders when everything is public. But again, people do not care to read or to understand, to analyze. It's very easy to attack.
Mauricio, so I don't know how good of a president he was because I don't follow politics, but, I think it was George Bush that said, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, whatever the saying is. This is the second time that camp test is positive for a banned substance. Listen, hear me out. They did fail. It's either you pass or you fail. No, I'm not blaming. Listen to me first. Don't get into the defensive. You got to listen first. You got to listen.
Wrong, my friend.
No, I'm not saying anything wrong. They failed, yes or no?
No. Canelo failed. Valdez failed.
That's it. They failed. They
No.
failed.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
cannot
only word
join
I'm
them. You
using.
cannot blame Eddie Reynoso.
I'm not
You're
blaming.
wrong.
I'm not blaming Eddie. I'm only using the word fail. Did they fail a test? Yes. Right.
Canelo.
And Valdez.
And I just explained thoroughly the clenbuterol situation.
And I understand that, but you got to hear my entire sentence so you understand the question.
Okay.
They both failed. They weren't negative. They were positive. So they both failed. They both fight out of the Eddie Reynoso camp. All I'm saying to you as my friend, I consider you a friend. We've been knowing each other for a long time. You've treated me better than any other sanctioning president has. As my friend, public perception is that team continues to pop for diuretics. Don't you think it's a coincidence that the fighters are testing for something that suppresses or helps them in weight loss? If you Google clenbuterol,
they're not diuretics, Ness. They're weight loss agents.
It's exactly the weight loss agents. So I used the wrong word. They're aids in weight loss.
Clenbuterol, no.
Yes,
You're wrong.
I have the definition pulled up.
It turns fat into muscle. It grows. It makes you big.
I'll correct you on that, Mr. Suleiman.
Let me read the Let me read the
it's muscle
definition.
sparing, but it helps you utilize fat for energy better, and it's muscle sparing. So it is anabolic.
The
Clenbuterol does have
definition-
anabolic properties to it.
The definition clearly states that clenbuterol could be used as a weight loss aid because it increases a person's metabolism, as well as reducing body fat. All I'm saying is, moving forward, I am your friend. That's two different diuretic or diet agents they're fighters. You know the difference between right and wrong. They're training for a fight and they keep popping for something that helps them lose weight. I just don't think a third time it'll be them taking advantage of you is all I'm saying. This is 2 times. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As your friend, that's how I feel. They know.
It's very easy to articulate and put it the way you do it. Are you a lawyer by profession or?
I'm just good at what I do.
I'm not sure how good you are in attacking. That's not fair in attacking.
The chat agrees with you, Mr. Suleiman. They don't think he's a great lawyer.
Listen, I am not attacking. I'm just saying 2 times.
It's a fair question. I have to say.
Maybe I'm not wording it right. Can you help me word it differently, Joe? I'm just saying.
I think I would word it this way. Can you understand how it looks suspicious, even if it is coincidental? Is that a fair way to present that question?
Yes. Okay.
Of course, because human nature is that. We are all suspicious of everything. We are negative. When has someone talked about the clean boxing program in these 6 years positively? When has someone gave us any credit for spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for being out there, for canceling fights, do you have any idea what it is to manage a clean boxing program with almost 1,000 fighters enrolled, the databases, the communications, the programs of awareness? Nobody gives any credit because we don't like to talk about the good things. If I go to the movie, I'm not going to go with the one that has a saint and a church, but I'm going to go and watch the one that has an axe and a murder in the poster. We all like violence. We like turn on the news, go to a movie, play a video game. So I understand we are in the attack mode constantly. So I take it, I understand, but it is not fair for Eddie Reynoso to be billed as a cheater, or Canelo or Valdez. That's it. Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Would it be fair to say in the fentanyl case, because I took a lot of heat for this too. I 100% do not believe it is a performance enhancer. I actually think it could possibly be worse in performance. If you're already lean and you're trying to cut weight, and you're not eating, you're not properly giving yourself the nutrition to recover. I think it may have even hurt Valdez's performance. But because VADA has it, as a banned substance all the time, do you think maybe you should probably go back and have a discussion and maybe look at that list with VADA and because I appreciate that you grouped in, you didn't just take VADA, you looked at a scientists, doctors, which is something I like to do. I don't like to just take someone's word for it. I like to get multiple opinions. And WADA believes that, out of competition, that it's fine to have that drug, whatever. Do you think maybe you may have to sit down with VADA and revise that list? Is that, an option, or is that something you may consider?
No, I don't think so, because that is the purpose of the clean boxing program. We are with VADA. It is the best program out there for boxing, and I would say for all sports. And if there is someone using something in that list out of competition, without a fight scheduled, with a fight schedule, we want, and it pops up, we want to know, and then we address it. I'm telling you.
So you have the right, just because it's on their list, you have the right as a sanctioning body to assess the situation the way you see fit. Because the perception out there is, because you're using VADA, that you have to follow lockstep with that list, and just because they don't implement punishments. They just do the testing and they tell you the substance. But I've said this several times. It's up to the sanctioning body and the commission to make a determination based off the information they're given. So it is situational, I still believe. But I think the misconception out there is, because you use VADA, that because they see that that's banned in and out of competition, they're expecting Valdez at the very least to be stripped of the title because of that. And the commission does follow the VADA protocol, but everyone is expecting the WBC to follow lockstep with VADA. But can you clarify that isn't the case? Is that a fair thing to assume, or is that correct statement?
No, we do follow VADA, and we did follow VADA with Valdez. So the substance was found, and we intervened and did all the whole protocol. And the decision was to establish the punishment as we did, like my good friend Nestor just said that thing about the court. We did, and we want to find anyone that has an illegal substance, regardless when it is, then we can address it and take we have had dopings that have gone from warnings, from financial punishments, and a wide variety, all the way to taking the title away. So we make the results management. So,
but they do have a stance, Mr. Suleiman, that they believe, and Dr. Margaret Goodman herself had said this. She does not believe that stimulants should be taken at any time during training for a fight. So I think because of the conflicting information between VADA and WADA, that's where all of this controversy stems from. So I guess respectfully, my suggestion to you is try to get everyone on the same page so there isn't this confusion, because VADA has a list, and then it says we adhere to WADA protocol, but then it has a list of the supplements at the bottom. It says these are banned at all times in and out of competition. Just like boxing is very critical, because everyone does their own thing. It's like the Wild Wild West. One commission does one thing, another commission does another thing. It seems to be the same way with these drug testing agencies, right? So I think I would make a suggestion, to try to sit down with VADA and try to make it so it's not so different. Like it's more uniform, in other words. I think you need a uniformity.
Like a WBC banned substance list.
Yeah. Or at least say this: we use VADA for the testing, but it's up to the WBC's sole discretion to determine how we want to handle these situations. Because, to be fair, VADA just does the testing and they tell you the results of the test. That's all they do. They don't, they don't administer punishment. Mm-hmm. They don't do any of that. And I think there's a misconception with the public when they have something on their website that says banned at all times. And then they're assuming that you're going to adopt that policy and process as well.
Exactly.
So I think we need to fix this where there's not this disconnect in the information, is what I'm trying to say. And I say that with all due respect.
Yeah, we have to be more clear. If any of those of the public would go to the website of the WBC and go in the clean boxing program, that's the whole protocol. And that's where it says what the WBC does and how we do it, how the results are managed. But we'll do a good press release putting that protocol again, so can people have that as a
because that's where the biggest controversy came, you know.
Well, Mauricio, that is all our questions. I do want to thank you for coming on. Obviously, actually, I guess my last question would be: how does one get, like, how did you get involved with Sugarbird, right? Because the Sugarbird tournament is a WBC tournament.
Absolutely. Sugarbird is a great platform. Bert Wells, he works in the amateur field. He works with USA Boxing, and the WBC supports the tournaments. And our intention is to just serve as a platform for kids to continue to have activity and to continue to try to have an opportunity to move into the ranks of the amateur with a dream to go to the Olympic Games. And then if they cannot succeed in the amateur field, then move on to the professional. But everything starts when you're a kid. So I respect Bert Wells and Sugarbird and the tournaments that he puts together as an organization are tremendous, and we are very, very strong with them.
So if one wanted to put on an amateur show, how do they get it sanctioned by the WBC?
Well, we work with the USA Boxing. In every country is different. So
USA, let's use USA for the example.
Like we have done the Green Belt Challenge in California, in Illinois, in New York. We have worked with the Golden Gloves. And when we do a Green Belt Challenge, we talk to the USA Boxing. So we get the ring officials and all the structure. Nobody pays a penny. The WBC takes care of that. The kids get uniforms and belts and medals, and it's a family great moment. So it's a very nice structure that we enjoy very much participating.
All right, so my producer wants you to see our little belt for our little amateur show we do. He wants you to grade us on how we made our belt look.
You should have it green.
Well, I tried to. You were busy last month, remember? We tried. We tried desperately.
You have our flags, which is good. And, you know, for a kid to get a belt, it's beautiful. And it is just something that motivates them and keeps them moving. And they talk in school, in the neighborhood, with the family and the uncles. So I applaud you for doing support of amateur fighters.
So letter grade. Give us a letter grade. How good did we do with the design? Do you like it?
I'll give it a B.
Yes. C+.
Oh, wow.
C+. Whoa.
It needed the green.
It's a green, and all the aspects are not very much WBC alike.
So like I needed to make it look more like the WBC.
You and I have something in common, Mr. Suleiman. We're both Lebanese.
Habibi. Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
I want to give you a shout out.
Okay.
My fellow Lebanese brethren.
And you are in New York as well?
No, I'm in Boston.
You don't hear that accent? I'm in Boston.
You know, my son is going to school in Northeastern.
Oh, wow. It's a great school.
So
Criminal justice?
No, he's computer science.
Oh,
nice.
Great.
He's doing great, and he's very happy. So when I visit him, I'll give you a call, and we go have some good
kibbeh
and charles.
Yep.
Oh, very nice, Joseph.
All right. Well, Mauricio, man, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you as always, man, and keep fighting the good fight.
Excellent. Have a great weekend. Take care.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mauricio Suleiman. Hopefully we answered your questions and you enjoyed the interview. Beeb, man, thanks for joining in, man.
Oh, good. Thank you for having me, man. I interviewed his father, and I love the Suleimans. They're good people. You know, they do answer the tough questions, and they don't. You may not like the answers you get, but at least they answer them. You know, so
yeah. I mean, you know, look, sometimes you know they dance around certain questions, sometimes they don't, but
At the end of the day,
Mauricio's
they have to
been
do what's
very
best for
good.
their sanctioning body. It's their business, right?
Yeah,
So,
and that's what I try to tell people. There's even though he's a non-for-profit, it's still
he's got employees, Ness. He got to pay his employees.
And it's still a business at the end of the day. You got to bring in money. And there's so many like programs that they give out money to. So money needs to be made. But let me get to some of these phone calls here. We got J-Mac, New Orleans. Are you available?
These calls are brought to you by Big Rigs Trucking Agency, experts for all your insurance and trucking needs. For quotes and consultations, visit us at brtagency.com or contact us at 908-943-6918.
Nice commercial. I like that.
J-Mac, you available? Okay.
So you hating?
I'm that guy. What you want to bet on? Bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. You getting that money, right? Easy. Let's bet $1 million easy. And I for the bread. When I him, y'all gonna say he was too weak on my life.
Okay, bow down, bitches. I'm about to handle business. I'ma teach you all a lesson. This'll only take a minute. Got a part and all this passion in my blood. Niggas hating just because. Think about it. Everybody love Bud. J-Mac, where you at? Where you at? All these niggas hating on me. Shit is whack. So official with it. Don't check the stats. Hey, I'm out here trying to get it. Next, I only got a minute. Get ready for the back attack.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, shout out to both of y'all. Both of you brothers did an amazing job with that interview, with the questionings and just the questions on, that probably, most people wouldn't ask because they make them uncomfortable. I want to shout y'all out for that. For as the drug testing, my disagreements with it is you should not be able to take no advantage at any point in time, because if weight camps are part of boxing fights and what you do at weight camp matters, and getting off the weight and training, that should be added into what's going on. So we can't dismiss it and say it had no benefits or no effects on the fight, because that's bullshit. If you have a horrible camp and you can't go get your job done and you're supposed to get your ass whipped, that's just the way it's supposed to be. So saying what a drug don't have an effect on, that's bullshit right there. For Suleiman, I'm not going to assassinate his character. Either he a great defense attorney for the WBC and Canelo and them, or he just deal with enough to where he's fully understanding to where he's reasonable. And I'm battling. Let me give me a counter punch, and that's so I continue. I'll give you a counter punch. I don't want to assassinate his character. I think he's been around the sport long enough to know enough about what's going on in his sport. So maybe the reasonable may come from his experience, or he just very defensive when it comes down to dealing with what's going on in that camp and who's involved in that camp and what he does for the WBC, being he's one of the biggest fighters in today, and the fact that he's of the same nationality, from my understanding. So I'm going to battle those two out. He does answer the tough questions, but either he one defense attorney, one hell of a defense attorney, or he just kind of been through the wires to where he know and he's open a little more to accepting certain things. That's my call. I'll send that cash up.
All right. I mean, I do remember that one time they didn't suspend Wilder for testing positive for. Well, he didn't test positive, right? He just got arrested with the weed.
Oh, with the marijuana, yeah.
They didn't arrest him. I mean, they didn't strip him. He said it wasn't his, and they let it be. My Gene Bear, what up?
Yo, how's it going, guys?
All good.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good. Yeah, Kipe is Beeb, you say Kipe or Kipe?
Nah,
because we say Kipe.
I call it Kibbe, but some people call it Kipe. I call it Kibbe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there's a big
Kipe is he can't be talking about our Kipe.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. It's Lebanese.
It's
Lebanese. The only thing is that we changed it, Ness. We put the little Dominican swing to it because there's a big Lebanese population in the Dominican Republic. They bake it, we fry it, like everything else we do.
Do you make it with lamb or you make it with beef?
We make it with beef. I've had it both because I have Lebanese in my family as well, so we make it with both. But we in the Dominican Republic, you will have it more with beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we make it with beef too, but the traditional one is lamb.
Lamb. Yep. Which is delicious as well. I love lamb. I just called in, man. You guys did a great job holding his feet to the fire. Ness, I know you have a relationship with him, and it's not easy to have relationships in boxing and do your job. Man, I respect you every day more and more for doing that. This is why we love the show. And B, thanks a lot for coming back, man. And everything that you add to the show always is a great point. So yeah, man, keep up the great
I really
work, guys.
appreciate you saying that, man. And I'm glad to be back, man. I'm glad Ness let me back on, man.
For sure.
I got the link saved in a folder now, so I can never lose it.
Nah, you're always in the call anyway. I got Stainless. Talk to me.
Red belt, black belt, WO and green. I'm king. Undisputed GOAT, TBE. And you can catch the news first on TBV. Voice of the people now let me speak. Scientists of the sweet, BOXING.
BV, what's good? You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm at work moving around, so if there's any noise in the background, excuse me for that. I was going to stay muted, man, but, man, hats off to the both of y'all, man. Y'all did a great job. Great job, man. It's Ness, man. Beav, it's good to have you back. Like Mayembe was saying, I say it to everybody. We don't always agree, but I can at least appreciate your point of view. Might change my mind, might not, but that's what discussions are. So, welcome back, man. But Ness, man, you always put the screws to Mauricio. Shout out to you for not putting friendship or association before your job, man. And shout out to Mauricio for always coming on, man. You know what I'm saying? He might dance around if he got to, but he answer every question, man. At least any question that makes sense. You know, if it's silly, I can't be upset with him for not answering it. But great show, man. I don't even remember what the topic of the show was about because that interview just took it light years past it. Caleb and Canelo. The power. I think he got enough power to hold him off of him. You know what I'm saying? To make him respect him. Maybe if he keep with it, maybe he can do what he did with Usyk. But I don't think he's a one punch knockout guy. I don't think he has one punch power.
He got a sharp left hook though. He got a sharp left hook.
And that's what he took Usyk with too.
Yeah, Plant got a sharp left hook.
He doubles it too. I like the way he doubles it.
And his accuracy, man. He don't have that pop necessarily, but he does have that snap when he hits. You know what I mean? So, and he's pretty accurate with that jab, so that could be a problem for Canelo. But I can't even think. Y'all actually did something to make me stop thinking about the build up for this Canelo and this Caleb Plant fight with this interview today. So again, hats off to y'all, man. As always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up, share this one and every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. This is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, you a pendejo. Shout out to El Camino, Big Rig Trucking 200. Peace.
Let me get to Rob, Baltimore.
Yo, I didn't even hear the interview, but I'm gonna just say that none of my guys ever failed any test. My favorite fighter never failed, and I know he'll be hearing all kinds of crazy shit. My favorite fighters out of St. Pete Boxing Gym, Thurman, all day. Stay repping Thurman, active, non-active. He never tested positive for none of that shit. So, I wish I gotta go back and listen to the interview, but it's not even versus. It's Kang's turn to Mexico versus America, or cheaters versus athletes. And my man Plant gonna hold it down for them athletes. Peace.
So, Beeb, I didn't have your thoughts on this week's press conference. Obviously, it was fireworks for me. I loved it.
I think people misinterpreted what you were saying yesterday. I was listening in yesterday. I think what Caleb Plant did was he needed to do that. It had to be done. And I think you were fair. I mean, his punch grazed and Canelo's two-piece landed plainly. That's the fair assessment. But that I did a video early on this. I said this just shows us that Plant is about it. He's coming to fight. He needed to stand up to him, and Canelo knows what motherfucker meant. But and this is what I said earlier. Canelo took them sunglasses off. He had a look in his eye like, well, I'm not gonna start something, but if he says something that bothers me a little bit, shit's gonna pop off. Like, you have that mentality when you're going to talk to somebody that you don't like, you're trying to work something out, and you say to yourself, as soon as if this guy says one thing that pisses me off, I'm gonna fucking slap him in the mouth. But if he's cool, then I'll be cool. So he took his sunglasses off. He had that demeanor, like he was more upset about the whole PED thing, which is gonna follow him around for the rest of his career. But then this whole thing about Plant's in his head and he's in Plant's head, that's a good thing, man, because you want to be in each other's heads because you're going to war. You got to be thinking about this guy for the next 40 so odd days, and he got to be thinking about you. You got to be dialed in and locked in for each other. You got to eat, sleep, and drink each other, man, because this is a big fight, right? And I will say, the whole thing about people saying Canelo was acting out of character. I don't know. For these last couple of years, I want to say go back as far as the Jacobs fight. He's kind of had a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to start clapping back now because someone asked him at the press conference after Billy Joe, what's up with this new Canelo? Why are you talking so much? And he's saying, you know what? I mean, I can't take it anymore. I got to stop talking now. I got to respond back to this shit. Now that to me necessarily isn't a bad thing because people say, oh, well, he's in his head. He's angry, but sometimes anger can be used as a weapon. More often than not, anger is used as a weapon. I've used anger and rage as a weapon my whole life. I've been angry almost every day I wake up in the morning, but I use that as a motivating factor. You know what I mean? So it enables someone to be more determined. It enables them to be more focused. It enables them to be more, aggressive. It enables them to be more intense. Right. So the last couple of people that talk shit about Canelo when they brought up that drug test, it didn't work out for them. So I don't know if poking the bear is going to make it any easier for Billy Joe Saunders. But I'll tell you one thing. It makes the fight more intriguing. It made the press conference more intriguing. And that press conference definitely made me want to watch the fight even more. So
yeah, I'm locked in. They got me so excited 44 days out.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone should be questioning Plant's heart.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should be questioning Plant's intent. I don't think anyone should be, questioning Plant's mentality going into this fight. I don't think he's going to win. I think he's going to get stopped. But I'm glad that he is so confident. I'm going to be honest with you. And I said this morning. As soon as he pushed him, I was saying immediately I was just thinking this. I said, I hope he goes back at him and at least pushes him or slaps him or does something. I said, I hope. And as soon as he did it, man, I got fucking goosebumps. I was like, yeah, this fucking thing is on.
Bro,
now it's a real fight.
He almost pushed him off the podium, though.
I needed a response to let me know that it was a real fucking fight, and I got it. It's going to be a real fight.
But it scared me a little bit, though, because he almost pushed him off the whole fucking stage, bro.
Oh, yeah, he pushed him off. He pushed him hard.
Let me get to Counterpunch here. I got J-Mac.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
A few things I want to address. Canelo didn't two-piece anything. He slapped him. I seen the video where he slowed down. He had open hands.
They ain't gonna hit each other with a closed fist. They don't want to break their hands or they don't want to cut each other.
Let me get it all because I got like 40 seconds on this call. He slapped him. The power. Yes, Caleb has power. The only thing is how effective it is against Canelo. I was talking to Keem earlier on the call, and we both agreed to what problems that presents itself in fights who dictates action. And if Caleb isn't confident in placing his power or letting his power be effective, it's gonna be hard because Canelo has the tendency to be very dictative. I mean, a dictator when coming forward with his high guard. He's very effective with that. So that could take a lot of steam off of Caleb and being able to sit down on his punches because he know he may get countered. But also remember, Caleb Plant is punching downward too. he tends to lean in with great footwork and balance and pumps that jab, so he can be very effective with punching that jab. So it depends on how effective he is with landing his power shots. That's my call.
All right. Majimbe. Or Stainless on the boomerang.
Ness, when we gonna get Micah K back on there? What's going on with her? She been busy or something?
Yeah, she's probably busy. She's usually on Thursday evening, so probably today. I seen her in the chat this morning.
Yeah, what up?
What up, Stainless?
Yeah, man. I guess since I got a minute to pontificate, yeah, I am with the. I'm staying with my Caleb Plant vote, man. I was getting a lot of slack for it in the back call when it first started, you know what I'm saying, and after the show. But now people are starting to see he's got those tools. I think he got to be challenged in order for us to see those intangibles. You know, Usyk took him to one level. Canelo's a whole nother level. We all know that. But he's confident, and he's not scared of Canelo. And when you fight in the A side, especially what's considered a superstar, and let's face it, we can argue all day about it, but Canelo is one of those top superstars, man. He's the top. I mean, AJ fighting, and we barely talk about that. And they just had the final press conference, right? So, I mean, watch out for Plant, man. I think he's gonna do something. But I gotta say it again, man. It's always say, because this is a great show. It's always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up. Share this and every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. This is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, shout out to El Camino.
All right, LV Slugger with the super chat says the ducking games will begin after October 9th. Hashtag 2-time. Beeb, do you believe that if Wilder wins, AJ will avoid making that fight?
I think it's always going to be a problem.
To negotiate with them? Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I just think there's bad blood, man. I think it's personal, man. I don't think they can put the personal aside and just make it be business, man. You know?
Potato Chip says, just give the disclaimer. This is the Boxing Voice, the voice of the people, and people want to know X, Y, Z. That's a good idea. I could try that with guests, see if that works. Not sure that it will, but I can try. We got Stiff. Stiff Jab says, what up, Ness? I see this fight going like Harrison versus Charlo 2, but Canelo finishes the fight. Okay, so he's gonna get the stoppage on Caleb late.
Are you concerned? But go back and watch the Plant Usyk fight. And this is my opinion. I don't know what your thoughts are on this. I thought Plant lost the last 4 rounds.
Wow. You're talking 8 through 12.
No, 9 through 12.
Okay. Wow.
And then I gave him, I think he lost like the 6th. I had him losing 5 rounds in that fight. I thought he won the fight 7 rounds to 5. One disturbing thing to me, and two disturbing things to me in that fight were how badly he faded down the stretch and how he was holding on in the last couple rounds trying to survive. I thought he got hurt, particularly by the left uppercut and the left hook, which are money punches for Canelo Alvarez. And Coach Malachi made a great point yesterday, and it may sound very minuscule and very simplistic and may not even be important to a lot of people. But when Canelo did throw that second shot, he dipped his shoulder, right? He dipped his shoulder like he was going to throw a left hook, but instead of coming up around over the top with it, he threw it in a 45-degree angle. And Plant, every time he does dip that shoulder, same thing with Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders ducked, Plant ducked too. He has a way of selling the left hook upstairs, and then he throws it at a 45-degree angle, almost like a half hook, half uppercut. And then he landed that punch in his eye, and the glasses did cut him. But he's lucky he had the glasses on, because if the glasses wasn't there, that slap, the ridge at the bottom of his hand could have slid up his cheek and went right in his fucking eye, and he could have got a mouse. So that is going to be concerning if you're a Plant fan, that he landed that punch at the press conference, because he's going to be landing it with a closed fist during the fight. And what happens if he busts hits Plant with that and he busts him open. Because Plant, go back and look at that Uzcategui fight and look at all Plant's fights. He busts open very easily. He gets cuts, he swells very easily. I don't know. I didn't like how easily he's hit with that left uppercut and that left hook, man. So I think that could be a problem in this fight. I think it will be a problem in this fight, in my opinion.
I was already concerned with the fact that Canelo countered the first slap. That already concerned me. You know, that even at a press conference, he's so on point.
I said that. You could tell right there, like he's just a natural fighter.
Yeah, like you can see the posture in the back leg, everything. Like it was just all boxing for him.
It clicked on
immediately.
It clicked on instantaneously. Yep. Like, man, you know, there was not even a thought process.
And that is what scared me. You know, that he went from Canelo to the fighter, and like it was like a switch.
Less than a second.
Switch. But we got Trav FDY that says, why are they going by WADA code when they use VADA, which is a higher standard? That's what we tried to say, man. They need to just come up with their own WBC list, but it's evident. You know, anybody that's familiar with the legal system knows what pretrial intervention is, and that's what they did to Valdez, bro. They gave him.
That's exactly what they did to Valdez.
Yeah.
You were 100% point.
And it's okay. It's okay if you're gonna do that for everyone. If everyone is gonna get their first
I didn't
defense.
like how he answered that question when I said, moving forward, if someone else pops for this, what are you gonna do?
No, it's case by case. That's his favorite answer, bro. His favorite answer is always case by case, man.
But the thing is the way I laid it out was pretty much it would be an identical situation.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and that's why he saves himself with case by case, because he knows your answer. You want the answer to be, well, the next guy gets the same treatment, or I'm gonna get ridiculed. But he's like, no, it's case by case. We gotta go over.
You know what my lawyer told me one day? Whenever you're on a witness stand and you're being interrogated by a lawyer, you know what you tell them when they ask you a question? Don't say, I can't remember. Don't say, I don't know. Say, I don't recall. And you can get your way out of anything by saying, I don't recall.
I wonder why.
It's because it's very ambiguous.
I wonder if this is Chris Carlson that we know. He says, no prescription. He committed a crime. That's
true.
Hashtag major.
Did he just leave a comment or did he call in?
Super chat. Then we got Jerome in the house. Jerome said, Adrian, no. He said, why was Adrian Broner reprimanded for insensitive comments, but Reynoso? Yeah, he completely ignored the homophobic comment question. He just, I didn't see that. That's another good tactic. That's I have no knowledge of that. I haven't seen those comments yet.
He's on social media all the time, bro. He sees everything.
Yeah, but yeah, Broner was reprimanded for his insensitive comments, but Reynoso called Caleb a you know what, and nothing has been said or done. That's true. At least we brought it up to him, right? We got Jerome with another one that says Reynoso fighters Luis Neri and Julio Cesar Martinez also failed drug tests. That's what I'm trying to say. Like for him, like I told him, as my friend, don't fall for the next guy in that camp testing positive if it's going to be another diuretic, man. Like they're playing you.
You had him red-faced when you asked him that question, man.
They're playing him, bro.
I had to step in, man. I had to calm it down, man. I don't know. I didn't know what would have happened.
I just feel like they're playing him. It's like, come on, bro. You know, they're taking, either you're acting naive or what? Like, because it's like, it's 2 times, 2 different fighters, 2 different banned substances.
Oh, it's
2 different weight loss, You know what
Reynoso said? Reynoso's like, if you say that, you know what Reynoso says? You insulting the Mexican people. So you're saying all Mexican people? It had nothing to do with that, bro.
No, he wants to make it about countries, so he ain't got to answer the question, bro. It's called deflection.
Yeah.
Damn, these super chats were for when he was on the show, but I'm not sure I would have read these. For Surefire D, who's actually taking on Jerome Lambert 2-0, 2 KOs. This fight about to be bananas on Border Wars. You don't want to miss this. December 11th. It's going down. And we got some venues. I had a call at 11. I'm still on with Cha. I was supposed to get off at 11 and talk to the mayor of the city. But it's going down, man. We about to get a huge event. But he says, is it true that the WBC stands for We Back Canelo? Maybe. Marlon So Icy Sins. I see you, champ. That new Porsche looking real nice. I wish I could get a Cayenne or a Panamera. A little whole translucent roofs like that.
Our lawyer has one, man. She got a fucking gray one. It's fucking sharp.
Yeah, man. After I won the 2018 Chicago WBC Championships, I turned pro at Marlon So Icy Sims. Shout out to you. See? Eventually, we're going to have Border Wars. It's going to be a amateur tournament. Just way better. We got Jose Perez, who says accountability. Oh, no, excuse me. About accountability, can we have the judges at the press conference after the fight this way? Oh, wow. That is cool. That is cool. This is a way they would be accountable after fight. They are gone. You guys got to slow down on these super chats so you can spell things right. But no, I get you. Having the judges at the post-fight press conference to answer questions, if anyone has some, that'll be good. You know what? The thing is that not always there'll be questions, so they might get frustrated. You know, it's got to be a controversial scorecard for them to get that question. But, yeah. Looking like Hawk in Maryland. What up?
Yo, Ness, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing this morning? TBD.
Oh, good.
What's going on?
Man, great. Yo, how you doing, boss? Great interview, man. Great interview, Ness. Y'all be on top of it. Both of y'all did good on that one. And y'all had him on the hot seat there for a minute. He looked like he was ready to get up, but that was a good interview, man.
Had to calm him down.
As far as that fight, man, yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Canelo Plant, man, what I noticed was that Canelo let Plant walk right up to him and Plant threw that shot, and he basically, in my opinion, he missed. He might have tipped him with his fingertips, but I believe Canelo now knows the range. That little split second, Canelo now knows the range where he needs to be at when he fights Plant. So, but I think Plant's going to be a good fight and everything. I just don't see him. I just don't see him dealing with that pressure of Canelo for the 12 rounds. I got him, taking him apart. And I also got a different view on that daggone Joshua Usyk fight, man. I don't know. I've had Joshua all the way, but now I don't know. Usyk looks pretty determined, man. I watched that press conference this morning. He's pretty determined, man. So, I don't know. I think we got some good fights coming up, though. This is a good few months coming for us, brothers. Thanks for the call, boss.
All right, man. Thank you for calling in, Hawk in Maryland. That looks like everybody. Ness GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Catch me on the next one right here on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. Make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell. You never know when we go on live. We go live multiple times a day. Today is Thursday, so we're back at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight for our flagship show where we'll do our previews and predictions for Anthony Joshua versus Usyk and all other weekend fights. B, where can they find you?
Find me on Ringside Reporter Live. Link is in the chat. You can find me on Twitter at JHabib1. You can find me on Facebook at Joe Habib, Instagram Joe Habib. Make sure you catch out the Ringside Reporter podcast every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, right before the Boxing Voice goes live at 7.
Peace.
All right, take care, man.
Later.